just wanted to show you this letter to Malcolm from Winston Churchill.
My dear Malcolm, you and Victoria were so suited to one another, so devoted to each other, that the separation and destruction of your happiness seems doubly cruel.
And there's the reply.
Yes. Victoria and I had 8 years of perfect happiness together, without a cloud or anything to regret. I cannot yet believe that it is all over. You see, I can absolutely, where I had wondered whether her marriage to Malcolm was one of convenience, I actually think now they were really happy.
And then we have a letter of sympathy from Lord Derby himself to Malcolm.
My dear Malcolm, I send you a photograph of our darling. It's not really good, but she liked it. I can't talk or write to you about her. I'm too great a coward. It's me saying I wouldn't cry on this. It's that line, I can't talk or write to you about her. I'm too great a coward, but I loved her, as no man has ever loved his daughter. And with her has gone all joy from my life.
Desperate.
Oh, pull yourself together, come on. It's just very touching, isn't it? Yeah. That's very sweet that he sort of immediately offers his support to Malcolm. I want you to think that I am to you all that I try to be to her, that you have in me a friend to whom you can always turn. That's just raw grief, isn't it? It's amazing how quickly you can feel attached to somebody by hearing their voice. And it was those early letters from Lady Victoria to Malcolm Bullock where she seemed so cheeky, so irreverent, so, you know, funny. And I just really started to like her. And I knew she died in a hunting accident, but I didn't realise the depth of mourning. I think Malcolm and Lady Victoria had a very happy marriage, albeit short. That it may have been a convenient meeting, but it wasn't a marriage of convenience. And whatever Malcolm did in the 30s, he wasn't disloyal, he didn't neglect her at all in the years that they were married. You know, that description he writes to Winston Churchill about the 8 years that they had without a cloud and without any regrets. How many people can say that about any relationship? And 3-4 years later, he's living in a very different circle. He's you know, he's swept up into a different world. He almost certainly was gay, and he certainly was hanging around with a lot of gay men, therefore has very different relationships. You know, it happens. Just in the space of a few days, I've gone from knowing nothing about Malcolm Bullock, not even knowing what he looked like, from being able to read very little into the vision I had of Lady Victoria from that portrait, to suddenly feeling that I do know them. I'm really relieved they were happy. Well, that's far more about my mother's side of the family than I expected to discover. Now I'm heading home again to find out from my father about his family. Now, I know that his father was a polo player and he went to America to play polo. And I imagine that it was because of that he met my grandmother, because she was American. Her name was Hoagland. I don't know anything about her family. I think my father knows plenty about the Baldings, but I don't know if he knows anything really about the Hoaglands. We'll see.
Claire's father is racehorse trainer Ian Balding.
Hey, Dad.
Hello, girl.
You all right?
Yes.
Hey, Mac.
Nice to see you.
Mac. Who's a boy.
How are you?
All right, good. Had great fun with Mum's family.
Did you?
Full of scandal. It's great. Exactly, I know.
Oh, good.
So, Dad, I've got lots of questions for you about your family.
About my family?
Yeah, come on.
Ian's cousin, Judith Balding, has also come to talk to Clare.
So the Baldings were all horsey people, were they, Dad?
As far as I know, always. And Judith's got a family tree, which I'll show you.
Oh, right.
Here you go. If you have a look at that, you can see that your grandfather, Gerald, was a horse dealer, a polo player and a racehorse trainer. And then if you go back up to Bert...
He was a horse dealer.
Yeah.
William Balding's a horse dealer. Another William Balding's a horse dealer. And all the way back to Thomas Balding, early 19th century saddler and dog trainer.
Yeah,
Dog
trainer.
There you are. And that's Dad, Barney and Ivor.
The
Yes.
Balding boys. So all in their polo kit.
Dad, of course, became a 10-goal player, but those two are both 7.
And 10 is the best you can be. So you're sort of handicapped according to your ability. And
Yes.
10 goals means you've got to give 10 goals away to the other team. And am I right in thinking there hasn't been a 10-goal player since him in England?
No, there hasn't.
You're right.
He's the last 10-goal player in 1939.
That's amazing,
It is amazing.
Yes.
Some photos of your dad
Oh, look.
and your grandfather.
Oh, Dad, you look so serious.
He was telling me to sit up.
Was he?
Sit up straight, boy.
Oh, that looks so funny. He went to America because of polo, did he?
Gerald went when he was 22 years old.
He met your mother. Do you know how and when?
Not really.
She was a Hoagland. What about them?
She was a Hoagland, and the Hoaglands were pretty wealthy.
Do you know how they made their money?
I have no idea. No, I don't know.
Anything about them?
No.
No. OK. Well, that's my job then.
Yeah.
To try and
you
find
can
out a bit more, because we know all about the Baldings and
Yes.
basically they're horse dealers.
Yes.
That is clear.
And no money.
And no money, OK. Where should I start?
I think you should go to Rumson, probably.
To the Rumson Polo Club in New Jersey.
New Jersey?
Which is Rumson, New Jersey, yeah. Because that's where they mostly are, or were.
Oh, great.
Clare's paternal grandfather, Gerald Balding, met her wealthy American grandmother, Eleanor Hoagland, in Rumson, New Jersey. Clare's travelled to America to see what she can find out about Eleanor's family.
It's a very odd thing knowing that you are... A lot of me is American, but I've never really felt American, and maybe that's to do with not really knowing much about that side of my family, so that might be something that changes in the course of this investigation. Might go back with an American accent, actually. Speaking of New York. Coffee. Are those houses, are those Rumson houses over there? Oh, it's nice.
Clare's come to the country club where her grandfather played polo. She's arranged to meet up with her Aunt Gail, her father's younger sister, who lives in America.
Aunt Gail, hello.
Hello, Claire.
This is very smart.
Yes, it's lovely. And I've been having a bit of a look around, because I haven't been here for years.
Yeah.
And I found some things that you might find very interesting. Things that relate to my father. And this polo trophy is one of them.
Oh, my word, it's heavy. Ivor Balding and Gerald Balding,
Ivor
so
Balding,
Uncle
yeah.
Ivor and my grandfather
Yeah.
on that team.
He was hired by the Rumson Club to come and teach polo. And in the meantime, he was also playing in tournaments, you know, on Long Island and other places.
Polo, society's #1 sport, draws fashionable crowds to the international field, which boasts such stars as Hitchcock, Balding, and Pete Bostwick.
Polo drew huge crowds on the east coast of America in the 1930s, and Gerald Balding was one of its international stars.
Between chuckers, Balding nurses an injured wrist. He's America's second-ranking player.
An amateur sport, polo was mainly played by wealthy men, but many top teams hired players like Gerald Balding to boost their chances in prestigious tournaments.
Champagne, gentlemen.
Have a look at these pictures.
So he was strong. I mean, look at his upper body.
He was a big fella. But everybody said that he was the most superb horseman. And he met my mum because her family lived hereabouts, and she found this greyhound dog that was running loose in Rumson. So she picked it up and asked lots of people, to whom does this dog belong? And they said, well, it must be that English chap out there. So she drove out with the dog and knocked on the door, and the door opens, and out comes my father, and there's a lady in a negligee coming down the stairs behind him. And anyway, so my mother's standing there with this dog saying, is this dog yours? Oh, yes, it is indeed my dog. And that's how they met. She was 18 and he was 32.
So what kind of a family were the Hoaglands?
Her father, Joseph Hoagland, was, I would say, quite well-to-do, and they owned a big estate here in Rumson. He was not pleased when she turned up and said, you know, I want to marry this much older, penniless English polo player.
This is the wedding, is it?
This is the wedding.
Oh, my God,
yeah.
look at your mother.
Yeah. And it was a very glamorous society wedding.
So this is Joseph Hoagland.
Joseph C. Hoagland.
And he is my great-grandfather.
Grandfather, yes. He did have piercing blue eyes.
Do you know how he made his money?
Well, I don't really. I should, but I don't. He looks a bit dour, doesn't he?
Looks very stern.
Yeah.